Thank you very much for taking some time out from a very busy schedule to spend some time with us. The objective of this forum is not to disturb anyone's beliefs. Wherever your beliefs lie, whichever religion you belong to, you must stay there. But rather to get together as one divine family of the one Lord and share some beautiful teachings of ancient spirituality. Something which is very relevant and is needed in these times that we live in. A brothership and a sisterhood of the divine. There is too much hypocrisy being taught. Teachings should lead to love. To acceptance, to tolerance, to embrace beauty in diversity. At the top of the mountain, there is only one source, but that source of water will run down many faces of that mountain. Wherever you drink your water from, remember, follow back up, the source is only one. Let's close our eyes. Relax your breathing. Switch off the television, close the doors, just relax. Deep breathe from your navel slowly. Focus on the tip of your nose. And in and out. Those who have been with me for some time, this is where we do our mantra, whichever mantra, whether if you're a Christian, your mantra is the name of Jesus. If you're a Muslim, your mantra is the name of Allah. If you're a Hindu, your mantra could be Shiva, Krishna, Brahma, Om, whichever pleases you. If you're a Sikh, your mantra is Vaheguru, Mool Mantra, Sudhama. So whichever mantra, nice, relaxed, breathe in and breathe out. As a Sikh, you would go in the same way, Jesus, Allah, whichever. Let's settle our mind. Remember to keep your focus on the tip of your nose. That will prevent your mind from floating into other directions. Just relax the muscles on your face. Relax your shoulders. Just go into relaxation. Remember to breathe all the way up to your belly button. Nabhi. Today I shall be sharing with you the importance of having a divine soul as your friend. Very important topic, especially for those who practice spirituality, who practice meditation. Very, very important. Keep your focus, please, on your breathing. Just relax. The teachings which I will share with you are from the Bhagavad Purana, also mentioned in the writings of Bhai Gurdas and Sri Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh scriptures. Let us go back in time. Go back. Go back. We are living in the fourth yuga, known as Kali Yuga. Let us go to the third cycle of time, the Dwapar Yuga, also known as the Bronze Age. Here was born into a poor Brahman family a child by the name of Sudhama in the city of Porbandar in South India. His father's name was Matuka and his mother's name was Ropana Devi. When Sudhama came to age, he was sent to a local ashram to learn under the guidance of a guru. And as it happened, it was the same guru that Lord Krishna was learning from. They were both children, and they both became very close friends. And part of the learning from the gurus in those days, and even today, was to do odd jobs for them. This was known as seva. Whether you were a son of a king or whether you were a child of a poor man, when you went into the ashram, you were treated the same. On one occasion, their guru called both Sudhama and Krishna and instructed them to go to the forest and collect some wood, for the winter season was on its way. They made their way to the forest, and whilst on their way, it started to rain heavily. Could you please mute your mics? It started to rain heavily. They both rushed to a nearby tree and sat under the tree to wait for the rain to pass. It rained all day, and towards the evening, Krishna became hungry. And he knew Sudhama's mother would give Sudhama some simple beaten flat rice bread, which Sudhama would carry in his pocket. Sitting under the tree, Krishna asks Sudhama if he had anything to eat. Sudhama, feeling embarrassed that all he had was dry rice bread, replied that he had nothing on him. Krishna went quiet. Sudhama felt guilty that his close friend was hungry and that he had lied to him. So he puts his hands into his pocket and takes out a slice of flat bread and gives it to his friend. The food was simple, but the smile on Krishna's face was a delight to see, and it warmed Sudhama's heart. Over time, their friendship blossomed. Sadly, such is life, that eventually, as they grew, they parted ways. They left the ashram, and Sudhama went back to his village and remained an impoverished villager with a bleak future. Krishna went back to Dwarika. Sometime later, Sudhama's parents passed away. Sudhama gets married to a lady by the name of Shushila, and soon they have a family. However, their financial situation becomes worse by the day. They did not have enough money to feed the children. On the other hand, the praises of Krishna was spreading far and wide in the country. One day, Shushila approaches Sudhama. She lovingly puts his arms around Sudhama and softly whispers, "My beloved husband, the praise of Krishna has spread far and wide. He was your childhood friend. You used to tell me so many wonderful stories about you and Krishna when you were children. Go meet with him and ask for his help." Sudhama was reluctant. It had been so long since he saw Krishna last. So many thoughts flashing in his mind, that if he went, would Krishna remember him? Would Krishna even talk to him? After all, he was a poor villager, and Krishna was a famous king. He remembered the times when they were young and Krishna would come to his home, but Sudhama would not let him come in. He would refuse Krishna because he was ashamed of his family home. However, these were desperate times. So taking his wife's advice, one morning, Sudhama makes a decision to go and see his friend. After all, he had nothing to lose. His wife packed Sudhama a thin piece of rice bread for his journey towards Dwarika. In those days the journeys were long, there was no modes of travel. Many days and many nights he traveled towards the city of his friend. Eventually, in the early hours of the morning, Sudhama reaches the palace of his friend Krishna. He stands outside the doors of this magnificent palace, not sure whether he should knock on the gates. Eventually, he plucks his courage and knocks on the huge doors of the palace. The door creaked open and a guard comes out. "Who are you knocking on the doors at such early hours of the morning?" the guard asked. "Please tell Krishna that Sudhama, his childhood friend, have come to see him," replied Sudhama. The guard went in to deliver the message. Krishna was sitting on his throne with his wife Rukmani. On hearing that his friend was waiting outside, Krishna was overjoyed. He jumped off the throne and barefooted, he ran to meet his dear old friend. And this story is narrated by Bhai Gurdas. Bip Sudhama daladi bal sakhai mitra sadai lagu hoye bamani mil jagdish dalidr gavaye ਚੱਲਿਆ ਗਣ ਦਾ ਗੱਟੀਆਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰ ਜਾਈਏ ਕੌਣ ਮਿਲਾਏ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਨਗਰ ਦਵਾਰ ਕਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਵਾਰ ਖਲੋਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਦੇਖ ਡੰਡੋਤ ਕਰ ਛੱਡ ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਹਰ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਰ ਦੱਖਣਾ ਪੈਰੀ ਪੈ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਗੱਲ ਲਾਏ ਚਾਰਨੋਂ ਦਕ ਲੈ ਪੈਰ ਧੋਏ ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੈਠਾਏ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਕੁਸਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਗੁਰਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਣਾਏ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੰਦਰ ਚੱਬਿਉਣ ਵਿਦਾ ਕਰੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਏ ਚਾਰ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਸਕ ਚ ਪਠਾਏ When they see each other, both their eyes welled up in tears of happiness. It had been so long. Krishna hugs Sudhama, and with respect he brings his friend into his palace. Krishna gets his friend to sit on the throne and walks around the throne as a mark of respect. Krishna orders his servants to fetch some warm water and some expensive oils. He puts the oil into the warm water and starts to wash the feet of his friend Sudhama. What beautiful love. One a poor pauper and another the avatar. Other people who worked in the service of Krishna were surprised at what Krishna was doing, what they were witnessing, and muttering to themselves, who is this poor beggar that Krishna is showing so much respect to? As Krishna was washing the feet of Sudhama, He was fondly remembering the days when they were together in the service of their Guru. All night they spoke about all the activities, all the experiences when they were with their Guru. And in the early hours, Krishna looked at his friend. Sudhama, I'm hungry. Do you have those delicious flat rice breads your mother used to make and we used to eat together? Sudhama hesitated. There was so much food in the palace. How could he offer such an insignificant food to such a divine soul? So he kept quiet. Krishna stands up and puts his hand in the rucksack of Sudhama. He gently pulls out the flat rice bread and begins to eat it. And the same delight on Krishna's face as was when he would eat the flat bread when he was a child. Sudhama stayed with Krishna for a few days, and he completely forgot the reason why he went to Krishna. And without asking for any help, he leaves the palace to make his way home. His heart filled with ecstasy as he reflected on his few days at the palace. So much love in the heart of Krishna. Sudhama returns to his city, but he could not find his home. He searched and searched, thinking, am I in the right village? Eventually he sees some children running towards him, all dressed up like princes and princesses. Father, you are back. What took you so long? Sudhama was surprised. After you left, some men came and built this beautiful home and gave us lots of money. The children led Sudhama back to a beautiful home where his wife was waiting for him. Sudhama was shocked. He fell onto the floor, started smiling. Krishna, all along you knew why I came to you. You knew my deepest desires. Thank you, my friend Krishna. Krishna had granted Sudhama what is known as the Char Padarat, the four boons of righteousness, wealth, fulfillment of desire, and liberation. This is a divine gift when the divine is happy on you. So what is this friendship? It's a wonderful gift from the divine. It's a mutual active response between two people, a conversation of the heart, a magnetic connection, a coming together of two individuals, the closeness of a relationship born from total respect, where weaknesses are overlooked. In this friendship, the only driving force is love. That love which covers the weaknesses of each other's characters. No time, no distance, always there for each other. A relationship that carries absolute trust. And friendships are important. And blessed and rare are those friendships that last a lifetime. However, there is another friendship, a spiritual friendship, the ultimate friendship, that will not only fulfill these criteria, but will be with you in this lifetime and beyond. And life after life will be with you until you fulfill your spiritual purpose. This is the friendship with the divine soul. A pure, everlasting friendship that goes beyond the needs of the physical dimensions. A friendship that in the last moments of your life, when the body is beginning to lose consciousness, and there is an internal struggle going on between the Maya and the soul, and the Maya is refusing to let the soul leave the body, a great battle which is going on within. And in this moment, all the relationships are helpless. Family and friends, they can do no more but pray. Here, in your darkest and most painful private moment, the preordained soul, through the power of the Shabad Mantra, will pull your mind away from the trauma of death and will hold your focus in the love of the divine. Remember, right at the end, where your focus goes, your soul will follow. Very important part in the understanding of spirituality. All our spiritual practices are simply for that very last moment. And if we fail at that last moment, then all our practices will become nothing. So, having a spiritual friend at the last moment of your life is so important. However, even in this life, as we begin to practice sadhana meaning a discipline of Shabad Mantra, very often we experience the traveling of the astral body. Now, the astral body is also known as the Sukshma Sarir. And in this arena, the trappings of Maya is very strong. Maya, meaning that force which is going to prevent you from reaching your higher self, an illusion. Understand one thing. Within us, there are rivers which are flowing. And these rivers are known as Bhav Sagar, oceans of our karmic existence, many existences, the vast karmic existence of many lives, all the experiences flowing inside us. These oceans are known as Bhav Sagar, the oceans of life, fast flowing. And within these huge karmic oceans, there are huge layers of waves, one deeper than the other. Each layer producing its own experience. Here, there are waves of lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. These are also known as the 5 thieves, for they will destroy, take away all the divine promise that you have if you allow them to. They are the main reason of our suffering. And furthermore, there are undercurrents of asa, mansa, and trishna. Asa meaning expectations, mansa meaning desires, and trishna meaning those unattained desires. And when we start spirituality, the practice of meditation, unaided by a spiritual master, then it will not be too long before one starts to drown in these currents and its various forms of manifestation. The first will be the overinflated I. You will see many spiritualists, me, my way, my thoughts, my religion, my this, my that. This visions of self-glory, me, me. And when someone speaks like that, you can safely assume that there is drowning in the currents of ego. And without guidance and blessings of a saint, the majority of the spiritualists are stuck. Their spiritual journey has come to a standstill. And all their lives, they will just negate other people, other people's experiences. They will lack love, lack humbleness, lack compassion, critical, me, my experience. I will shout out to the top of the world, this is what I can experience, this is what I can experience, this is what I've experienced. The journey was from the gross all the way to the 10th gate, right up here, the Gagan. That was the journey. To go past the Rajgun, the Tamgun, the Sattvic, all the way up to here. But the ego just traps us in the gross body. And we fall short. Then if one was lucky enough to go past the ego, there is another current. This is a more sinister current, a more evil and disturbing experience of the astral world. An experience which leaves a profound effect on the 5 tattvas of the body. Remember, there are many layers of spiritual experiences. Initially, the experience of I am humble. Remember, this is your ego becoming your best friend, justifying. I am humble, I am religious, I am loving, I am compassionate. They talk like that. Ego is your best friend, and it will try to influence you in whichever way it can. And when it doesn't, then it takes a more sinister turn, a more demonic experience. These are the real forces of Kali Yuga. Whereas in the first stages, it's your ego, your own illusion. But as you go further up, when you go past the perceived sense of your own spiritual achievements, you enter into the arena of the dark force. And the dark forces, their purpose is simply to prevent you from progressing in your spiritual endeavors. I have seen people caught in this. I have. The attacks may come in dream state when you're fast asleep, in form of nightmares that feel vivid and intense. Sometimes a paralysis, a form of suffocation, even when one is awake in bed. A weight on top of you, preventing one from screaming, moving, just a tight grip around the throat. Illusions even when one is awake. And these negative attacks from the dark entities reduce the energy. They cloud the conscience. They break our spiritual will. They create fear and spiritual apprehension. And these experiences are for those who dabble with spirituality without a spiritual master, not any spiritual master. Many people claim to be spiritual masters now. In this world, spirituality has become a bit of a fashion. They don't understand. A true spiritual master, somebody who's served a discipleship, who understands, who's physically experienced this world. Because here, no worldly relationship can help you. And here, only the friendship of the divine souls will protect you. Din sarena har kirtan gaiye, so jane jam ki vaat na paiye. Here, the blessings, the word of the divine is immense. Remember, your journey is from the gross all the way to emancipation. That is your journey. Anything less than that, you've sold out. You're wasting your time. And in the last moments of your life, you will understand what I mean. And in this arena of the dark force, only these divine souls can pull you out from the trappings of the astral planes. But then it doesn't finish there. In going beyond, as we meditate, we enter what we call the subtle body. This is also known as the Karan Sarir, the Karan body. That subtle body, which is bound into karma and sanskar, or samskara, as some people say. Karma meaning action, cause and effect arising from actions, words, and thoughts. And sans or sams meaning a psychological imprints of mental impressions. And the samskara is bound to the subtle body. That body which goes into the process of reincarnations. And the subtle body is our real spiritual self. And this is also known as the soul body. This body cannot be separated from any aspect of creation. Imagine a balloon. The balloon is full of air. You pop the balloon and the air merges back into the air. Whereas the journey of the physical body may last 70, 80, 90 years and in time will merge back into the elements, the subtle body will only find peace when it fulfills its spiritual purpose. And the experiences we go from the gross all the way through are a journey towards our higher self. And everything else that we experience is stopping us from reaching our higher selves. And you must treat it like that. Don't treat it as progress. It's not. They're there to stop you, but you have to remain focused. And who will hold your focus? A divine friend who's done that path. If you are lost in the jungle, you have two options. One option is to hold a map and try to get yourself out of the jungle. The other option is to have a guide. Any sensible person would take a guide. Why? Because they've done that journey many, many times. This is why a relationship with the divine soul is absolutely important. And one must pay complete obedience and listen to the soul. For the presence of such a divine soul can free you from the punishment of your samskara and emancipate you. Sadhu sangat hoye nirmala katiye jam ki faas, the scriptures say. Therefore, the presence of a divine soul at every level, in every dimension, in the physical, in the astral, and in the subtle, is a life support of a spiritualist. A divine friendship which is born from pure love. A divine friendship which will give you honor and respect. Whereas the relationships in this world will love you today and will hate you tomorrow. They're illusions. They're not true. How many times do we get hurt by the so-called relationships that we've fallen in love with, but not the love of the divine? You will get true honor and true respect. And they will hold your focus in the love of the divine as you go through the agonizing process of death. A divine relationship will shortcut your spiritual journey to the home of the soul. A friendship which will be with you not only in this life, but the life beyond and beyond. This is a friend we should all make. We have the free will. We simply need to decide. I remember my late master used to say, If you're traveling on a long distance, son, is it more comfortable to drive the car or to sit in the car as a passenger? And we would say, Babaji, of course, being a passenger is far more comfortable than the hassle of driving. He would smile and say, in the same way, son, in the world of spirituality, it is better to become a friend with a true, pure, preordained soul. Fall into their guidance, sit in their Sangat company, meditate in that company. Let them do the spiritual driving. Respect them, listen to their teachings. The love of the Sangat of the divine soul will make your spiritual journey beautiful and relaxing. They will teach you how to truly love. They will take you on a most beautiful road to the home of your soul. All you have to do, son, is simply sit in the car of their divine love and enjoy the spiritual journey. For their love is deep. Their love is boundless. Their love is freedom. Their love will ignite the dormant spirit. Their love will make us worthy. Their love will give us honor and respect. Their love will protect us. Their love will heal us. Their love will be our relationship, the only relationship that we need. Their love will make us complete and whole. God bless you. Thank you. Let's learn to love. Rise above. My way, your way. Love, 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 and love. But true loves come from a peaceful heart. True peace comes from the divine. So connect yourself to the divine teachings. Have a peaceful heart. And from a peaceful heart, we will be given the gift of love. That love which does not discriminate. That all-encompassing love. That love in which even your so-called enemies become your friends. That love. James, thank you.
Thank you, Baji. And thank you, everybody, for attending today.